Good, okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the Planning Board of Township of Franklin on May the 19th. Please wait for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Chris, to you for roll call, please.
Here.
Mr. Clark.
Here.
Mr. Fiorelli.
Here.
Mr. Dean.
Here.
Mr. Keller.
Here.
Mr. Malady.
Here.
Mr. Slade. Mr. Travaglione.
Here.
Chairman Pesh.
Here.
Mr.
And,
Ramsden. Mr. Padula.
and Chris, would you go back to the open public meeting statement, please?
Notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act and the Iowa Notice of Meeting. A copy was posted on the township website. Notice of this meeting was sent to South Jersey Times and the Sentinel, and a copy was posted at the Franklin Township Municipal Building.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to swear in the conflict planner this evening. The original, or the engineers conflicted on this application. Would you swear him in, please?
I state your name.
I, Chris Stockton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will
impartially, and justly
impartially and justly
perform all the duties as a member of the Township of Franklin Planning Board
perform all the duties as a member of the Township of Franklin Planning Board
to
to
the best of my ability.
the best of my ability.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of
Constitution
the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
as the governments established in the United States
and in this
and in this state
state under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
For the record, I'm not a member of the planning board, but the conflict planner.
Planner. Yep.
Not voting tonight, unless you want.
No, I think we have enough.
That'll
I think we're
cost too
good.
much.
I think we got enough. Now we'll go to the other conflict. On application PB 26-01, I feel that to be on the safe side, I want to conflict myself as well. The applicant's attorney is the same attorney I've used on a project or a personal matters, and because we have enough board members at this time, I will conflict myself and not participate in this application. Because the room's full of people, I really don't feel like getting down. I'm going to sit right here comfortable and let Ralph take over from this point.
All right, first application tonight, PB 2601, Stinger.
Brian Hopkins, Hopkins Museum, on behalf of the applicant R.M. Stinger LLC. This is my client, Richard Stinger. If you'd like to put him on the road, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do solemnly swear to tell the truth of this matter
Yes.
and say your name for the record.
Richard Stinger. All right, to first address matters of completeness for the planning letter, they did recommend to be considered complete at this time. There were 4 items that were outstanding. Item 2 being all existing structures with repairs, because the parcel will be subdivided into said parcel. Everything that's on the parcel is provided, anything outside is not, and we do ask for a waiver on that. Meets and bound description of the proposed subdivision has not been provided. Thought it was, if it wasn't, that would be provided prior.
It was provided a few days after we sent.
Got it, thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
We do have the meets and bounds of both the clerk's office.
Item 16, soil types are not shown in plans, we do ask for a waiver for that. And item 17, no information on existing proposed water and sanitary facilities on shown plans for the, I'm assuming you're saying the proposed lot, which is true, we'd ask for a waiver on that. There's no structures to be built as part of this plan, this is merely a subdivision.
We have no objections to the waivers sought. It's minor subdivision drawing, it is a line. Nothing supposed to be fixed. We don't need as far as I'm concerned, we don't need that information, we will be able to make a decision on this application.
Brian, that's it?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I do submit that this be considered complete this time.
Okay.
All right.
Chris, for our engineering report?
Sure, well, I assume they're gonna at least.
Yes, yes, yes,
We have no objection to granting those waivers, and as we put in our report, we recommend deeming the application complete.
Very good.
I mean, historically, as part of our public report, we didn't vote on.
Okay, some,
Yeah.
So as long as the chair is okay with it, or the vice chair should.
Right.
okay. All right, so again, this is a relatively straightforward minor subdivision. It's a currently 3.22 acre lot, and that is located at 612 Grant Avenue here in Franklin Township. We're proposing it to be subdivided, basically split in half into 1.61 acre lots. The only variances that we believe we need at this time is a minimum front yard setback variance for the already existing structure on what is the proposed lot 25.01. And then there's variances for the agricultural buffer. Technically, it would be on both lots, though there's nothing proposed at this time to be built on the second lot, so I don't know if that is technically happening. On the proposed lot 1, which again has the home, there are some chicken coops. And it's also technically on the proposed lot 2, but we'll get to that in a second. There is, I will say that I believe you listed 91 feet, but is it 91 or is it 51?
That is what it is, 51 to that chair.
51. So just to be clear, the report of the engineer was 91 feet. I believe that should be 51 feet for the variance request. That specific chicken coop is proposed to stay, so we would seek that variance on that. There are other chicken coops on the property which we are, as part of this application, certainly we would remove those. So there basically would be no structure whatsoever left on the proposed 25.02. And anything that would be within the lot line, so right on lot line, any of those chicken coops would be removed. Okay? So we don't believe there should be any side yard setbacks that side yard setback variance.
Hey, Ryan, can I stop you?
Yeah,
You said you're keeping one chicken coop.
yes, sorry.
Where is that? Because I can't find it on the plan.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it the first time either.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right, so it's on .01.
Yeah, it's on .01.
Okay, thank you.
About 128 feet. Right, and so, Mr. Claire, can you explain to me, when did you purchase this property?
I would say about 6 months ago.
6 months ago. And are you living in the property?
No,
Okay.
it is currently being rehabbed.
Currently being rehabbed, and is your plan to rehab it and rent it, or rehab it and sell it?
It would be rehabbed and sell it.
Okay. And your intention is then to also sell the second lot?
Correct.
Okay? And are you intending to be part of the construction of the second lot, given them?
No.
Okay. And you understand that we are not asking for any kind of variances or for construction requests or anything at this time? Correct. Pursuant to that second lot? Correct. And are you proposing any kind of any additional building you would be doing on lot 25.01? No. That was you're just rehabbing the inside of the lot? Correct. And you understand that, per the engineer's drawings, that all the markings where it says chicken coops were removed, it was already removed at that time? Correct. And are you planning to take down any trees on the new lot at all at this time?
Not at this
Not this time. Any additional construction, any work to be done would have to be pursuant to any code of the township, and if they needed any variances or waivers, they'd have to come back. Whether it was you or some person you sold. Right. Sure, yeah. Okay, thanks for the clarification. Is that on 25.02?
Yes.
Okay, so on the new proposed lot, you would have to move a couple of trees to keep it from house.
Yes, so the chicken coop all the way in the back is, or does have trees that prevent me from getting to it. So I would me taking down a couple of coops, be able to demolish, get my equipment and trucks back there.
Are those coops in use in any way?
I would say the front one is definitely savable and it's dry. The back one is dry, but, you know, obviously it should be removed from the property. But I will remove the chicken coop lengths that are included into the second lot. Keep them from being sold, being on the second lot.
And, this general area where this, lot is located is other residential homes, am I correct?
Yes.
We're in the residential agricultural district. And most lots are about this 1.5 to 5 acres
Correct.
in that ballpark. And again, you're not doing any construction, no sound, no, trucks coming in and out or anything like that this time, or anything like that. And do you believe this should impact any of their farmlands and property in the rear? Would that have any impact on anything?
No, absolutely not. I still believe that there's going to be a good amount of tree buffer between that property and the existing.
Right, because you have no plan for any of that buffer back here. And do you believe that, being able to have another lot, another home that we can provide, that kind of housing in our community, bring more members into our community? And have you done like kind of house flipping and all that before? Yes. You're trading that. And have you ever constructed from the beginning or
From ground up and
no? And that's why you don't feel like you'd be the best person to do that?
Not at this time.
Exactly. Is there, you don't have any chickens?
No.
Nothing else is being farmed, nothing on there, nothing being used for road life? Have you noticed really any animals back there, other than your general rat, squirrels, deer, little numbers sometimes? Is there anything else that you would wish for this board to hear and understand about what you want to do?
Just to provide another lot for, the family and builders, home, I believe the smaller house, I'm rehabbing to provide that for a family, but also provide another lot in the township to be able to live and build a house.
The current house is made of bedroom back,
That's going to be a two-bedroom one there.
and is septic on it? Or septic on it?
Yeah, the new septic is being put on.
New septic. And, and you're not proposing to do any of the taking any responsibility for the new septic proposed law? Two, again, any other person over you would need to get proper approval from this, either from township or. Correct. Maybe not further.
I have a question in reference. You talked about septic, which leads it into the word well. In your new lot, proposed .02, in the northwest corner, the surveyor has indicated a well location. To the best of your knowledge, is that a well that supplies water to the house that's existing on .01? Northwest corner of the new .02.
That's right.
So on the new lot, there was a well feeding the existing house, and that was probably in the range of 200 feet away, which falls in the new lot location. And I've already had a new well drilled.
Okay.
On the existing property, feeding the existing house.
So this well is no longer going to supply water to .01.
Correct.
Thank you.
Will it supply to O2?
Even when it was ever built, I think you.
Correct.
And where is the septic 101 going?
On the existing lot? Yes. Directly behind the house.
Right here.
Yes, directly, I would say
The house.
Is it close to the existing septic field? I mean, is it close by or far away? I mean,
from the existing house?
from the existing field.
Are you
Septic.
using the same field in tank?
Yeah, it's all new septic. All new septic right where the old one.
All new septic tank, but how about the field, the leach field?
I believe it was a cesspool,
Oh.
and it's in that area with
So now you're getting the
So now it's getting all
Yeah.
brand new upgraded.
Right. Okay.
And you're gonna get all the proper,
Absolutely.
proper approvals as needed for that?
Yes, sir.
Accessible to everyone? That's what I get rid of that.
So just as a follow-up on the well, typically, you know, when the replacement well goes in, the existing well is required to be abandoned properly by a driller. Was that done, or that was not done?
That
or-
was not, and I was told by, the driller that with proper documentation, you're able to reuse the drill, so, or well, so I didn't do anything with it, and he didn't do anything with it yet. I was just told it was like a transfer of something, I can't recall exactly what it was.
You might have to
Go
watch
either way.
yourself,
Okay,
because when putting a new home with a 20-year-old well, you might not be able to, like, it's a tricky situation, because it might not no longer be considered a new home, because you have,
I would have to check, with documentation with the township on when that drill actually was put in.
Yeah, that's the
Does seem
county,
like
that's
it's
not
newer,
the township.
newer well, say,
it's the county health department.
Actually, it's the state.
But,
Right.
but when you're selling a new home, you typically, one of the draws of a new home is that somebody gets a warranty and everything else. But nobody wants to buy a new home and have a well that might be ready to go in a couple of years. So if there's like an older part of that property, then, I mean, it might be just easier just to do a whole new well
Right.
than to have a well that might be 15 or 20 years old. Now, if there was an existing home on there, I would say reuse it, you know, but with it being with wanting a new home on there, I would much rather, and I think the health department would, and I think any builder building a new home would have to watch themselves, because if they use that well, then it's no longer, I think, could be classified as a new home.
Okay. I don't know this off the top of my head, and anyone else here would. When he would get the CO for 2501, the house that he's currently on, would they require proof that that well, as you mentioned, was kind of closed?
well, I don't know, to like Rich's point, that it's necessarily required that it be abandoned. However, when your driller got the permit for the new well, they would have had to address that in some way. If if that was, stating that the well was going to be reused for future use or something, I'm not 100% sure. That'd be a driller question, but if you have all the proper permitting for the existing well, I'm assuming I don't want to put Chris on the spot, but his firm is actually the one that handles this stuff for the county, but I know it's not him that does it, so, well, you do the wells too, just so you know, yeah. So, but again, that's why I didn't want to ask Chris that question. So, yeah, in any event, as long as it's properly documented and taken care
The
of.
well's already been drilled for the new one?
Yes.
And has it been, started for
It is currently hooked up, and I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So, we would certainly be amenable to providing any kind of documentation you have from that to satisfactory.
I don't think it necessarily affects us. We're just
Doesn't affect
we're just
us.
trying to be
Just contact your well driller.
Yeah,
Good idea.
That's what you have to do.
yeah.
Yes, sir, thank you.
We like making mountains out of
Yeah.
right here, so.
Do you have any more, solicitor? That's it. Is there a motion to go into open public portion?
So moved. Make a motion to go in the public.
Is there a second?
Second.
We are in open public portion, if anyone would like to come up. Please state your name and your address from the microphone.
My name is Preston Housen. I live in 6th Avenue, right down the street from Gregor's proposal. My wife and I and my family, we've lived there for 25 years. Sorry, good evening, everybody. I'm so nervous, and I've never openly or publicly objected to anything anyone has done up and down the street, from building driveways, stones, driveways, to yards, whatever. My yard, where we live, is the low point, from Delsey Drive, Captain Katz, to East Avenue. So we are the stormwater runoff for the neighborhood. So the reason I am objecting to his subdivision, because it will be a house down the road, everything that he does will affect the groundwater runoff. He's only one property over from us, the proposed. And by no means do I want to affect anybody's livelihood or affect their monies. However, the water runoff in the worst of times, in the worst of storms, we've had, I would guess, 1 million gallons of water in our backyard. And it has taken 6 to 7 to 8 months. Lately, we've been in a drought. It's pretty dry, but it's coming. We've watched 25 years of storms running up and down the street, and run through the yards, and run to our backyard. Turtles, ducks, geese, everything. We have everything. So, yeah, we have to adapt to.
Let me explain all of
That's
this.
my wife, Sheila.
Your name again, ma'am?
Sheila Renee Salvo. So we are at the lowest point, like you said. Sheila Reyes Housing. And he's higher. And then you have the next property. They built their property up many years ago, and they had them cease and desist. So he's higher, they're higher, so everything is down to slope this way. So whatever he does here is gonna eventually end up in our backyard when we have bad storms, a lot of snow, any kind of runoff, it just comes pouring right across the neighbor's yard down into our yard. And, we tried putting a phone down there where it just doesn't work. So we literally had, couldn't even stand out there. And it's been like 5 to 6 feet of water at some points. And like I said, we're in the drought now, but it's coming every 5 years or so, it cycles through. And he's not proposing a house now, but if you're subdividing, eventually there's gonna be a house. And whatever they do is gonna change that elevation. It's gonna send more water down on it.
I'm going to thank you for your comments. I'm sure our engineer is going to have a comment on the water runoff, because there are new laws in place that prohibit what you say may happen, where each lot has to maintain its own water runoff.
Yeah, so if and when, whether it's him or a new owner, a year from now, 5 years from now, someone wants to build a house on that property, they have to seek building permits from the town. Part of that is submission of a grading plan to show how they're going to grade the property in order to accommodate the dwelling. Part of the grading plan gets reviewed by the town engineer. They show they're not doing anything to increase the water runoff based on whatever these current conditions are. So whatever is currently running off this property, they would not be allowed to increase that in any way. The engineer might require them to put in a dry well or some other stormwater management measures so they do not increase water runoff.
Technically, because it's vacant land, the water that's currently running from west to east onto your land is allowable. But once they build a home, they can't let any water leave the property in the eastward direction towards you. Meaning,
Well, wait a minute, that's not accurate.
beyond the existing, beyond the existing.
So,
And how is that monitored?
so wait a minute, they would use the same driveway? He would-
So it'll probably be a new driveway.
So the new driveway
Thank
would
you.
be instantly divided in the slope. So any water from that property instantly slows down that new driveway instantly.
And the township engineer, when reviewing the grading plan, can require them to put in stormwater management measures, such as a dry well underground basin to hold the water as it flows off the driveway and also to the house. So I'm not here to say that everything's going to be fixed, but there are laws in place that get checked by the construction officials and the township engineer. That if and when a construction permit comes in, they're supposed to be reviewing to make sure that they're not doing anything to increase or exacerbate negative conditions.
And if any applicant wanted to seek a waiver from that, they have to come back here and provide you objection as well. At that time, I think people would be very interested to hear that. So you would have an opportunity for that.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say, we've been down to the township about this before, when Bob Herrera was here, and we got nowhere. We literally brought in a film of where between the water running down Grand Avenue and the neighbors, where it was just pouring into our yard, and they could do nothing. So I don't have the warm fuzzy that everything you guys are telling me is really gonna happen.
But I think what Ralph was saying is that because there's no new structure being proposed on that property, I don't want to say there's nothing that can be done, but the runoff, it's unpleasant, but it's allowable. Once a property is, or once a home or any structure is proposed on that,
There's buffer behind the property, wetlands. Buffer behind our property, wetlands. The buffer behind his property, wetlands. The whole buffer back there, whole tree line buffer is wetlands.
Well, and you're just kicking the can down the road, so maybe don't follow him, so follow the next person that buys it, and we're gonna know all of this when they get into it, right?
But the can stops at that point, right?
Yeah, all of that is when somebody applies for it.
The can keep getting kicked until something's proposed that the can has to stop being
The
kicked.
proposal of the new property, did it have a water survey of the layout?
I cannot answer that question. I'm just saying that
Because, I mean, obviously it's gonna be used for a purpose, it's not gonna be used for.
Well, there's no building.
Right, but the part of being subdivided is that your
Purpose.
Your purpose is to sell it so someone else can build it on. I just said that, bring another family, I'm not supposed to bring another family.
I'm not
But
opposed
when
to
it's
that
gonna-
either. It's gonna
But it's
affect
gonna
our,
upset my apple
our
cart, I'm a
personal.
little.
So when this water runs down the road, does it ever cross Grand Avenue and lay,
This property,
excuse me?
crosses right at his property.
It does cross? So we have a public works director, and sometimes in our town, they have built swales and cisterns to manage water on roads. Grand Avenue is a township road, it's not a county road. And it would be under the jurisdiction of the Department of Public Works for overall safety, because that water in the wintertime freezes and causes accidents, I'm sure.
I was in there 25 years, we don't.
So you may want to speak with the mayor or somebody on township committee to talk to the Department of Public Works, unless you've done it in the past. Bob Herrera is zoning, this is not a zoning issue, this is a safety issue.
We know that.
It's just a bit of advice, because I have seen our township build swales in rural areas to manage water flow. And it's not the homeowner's expense or the neighboring homeowner's expense, it's the township's expense to maintain their public safety on their road.
Okay, again, is it freezing on the road? You know, I don't have to drive down the road, but I do have to worry about my backyard.
Of course you do.
I don't want to argue the road point, I don't want to argue Kelsey Drive, or I don't want to argue that. So us being here would be like, not proof, but there'll be objection noted, so if there is indeed water, issues down the road, it is noted here today.
Yeah, sure.
Because along with that, because obviously we can't afford, legal representatives.
It will be included in the resolution, and like everybody said, they probably want to make sure that once, understand that putting the plan on the road, there's not everything you can do, it's just one step closer to getting the result.
Okay, so, but if he sells the property and they buy it, are they gonna know about this?
Yes.
Well, wait a
So it has to be
minute,
disclosed?
actually, I want to know what
It's
this.
not a
It's
disclosure
not a-
thing, it's a permitting thing, they have to go through. It's law.
I understand that, but how is it documented that if we're all gone, that they're gonna?
Again, the law is that they're not allowed to do anything to increase the runoff beyond the property line. So whatever, let's say I bought the property within a few years from now, I decide I don't build. So if I was gonna sell for $400,000, I could do that. I would have to go to the town and apply for building permits and my plan signed by an engineer saying this is how we're grading the property, this is where the building foundation, the footprint is going to be, this is where the roof drains are going to go, this is where the driveways are going to go, and show the grading and exactly, like on this plan, there are little lines clearly showing that the grade of the property is the drains to the east, which I assume is two doors down. Everything flows that way, the natural condition of this land is everything flows towards you. And by law, they're not required to ameliorate that existing condition, but they're not allowed to do anything to affect it. So, if the engineer calculates that there's a certain amount of cubic feet of water will be increased, they would have to store that amount of water for a certain amount of time before it.
But the calculation would be, you know, if you take the check down, if you keep the trees out, the ground is just locked up.
Again, they would have to get permits to do that for the town.
But you're the engineer for this job, correct?
For this, Bryson Yates, with this plan,
He's the planner.
planner and conflict engineer is sort of reviewing this application for minor subdivision.
So
Right now, what this board is deciding is only whether or not they're allowed to split the land, that part of that would be removal.
So the formulation for an acre and a half property would be how much? What would the average formulation be?
I don't know.
So again, how are they determined if you're
Building?
increasing the?
If you want to submit a plan to actually build a house, the town engineer would be reviewing that to ensure that they're, however much water they calculate with flow, but at that time, they'd have to be able to store that much on the property.
That would be the reason why we're here to object to it.
Preston, your objection has been duly noted. There will be a resolution. The language that was used this evening will be in it. We are not here to discuss future development. We are only here to discuss separating this property into two. We're not here to discuss building. But your comments are duly noted, and if you have nothing further to say, I thank you for your
I
time.
reiterate, they're not allowed to do anything to make it worse.
Yeah,
Chris, how long has that law been in place?
I think it's about 3 years now.
yeah.
So it's 3 years, and how old is the building that's on the 2501? See, unfortunately, these laws are all new, so, you know, if that law had been in place when this building, the existing house was there, then they would have had to do something with the water coming off there currently. So unfortunately for you, you know, that everything predates these laws.
We still want to make it work.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we're sorry, we don't mean any hard feelings towards anybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more open public portion comments?
Comments?
Seeing none, is there a motion to close open public portion?
I make a motion, we close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ralph?
I don't know, if we kind of like a little bit out of order, but I don't know if that conflict between has any review concept they want to discuss with the applicant as well.
I do not. This is a very simple application. Minor subdivision, there's one variance required for the front yard setback on the existing home. That's a pre-existing non-conforming condition that's not being impacted by the subdivision. And the variance is required for the ag buffer that there is the property to the south of this is a Q farm. So by code, since it's a rear yard setback, that's a 100-foot ag buffer. So on the 2501, there is the chicken coop that's 51.5 feet away. The other lot, there's about 125 feet of tree line anyway. They're not technically showing an easement through those areas, so what the variance is required there. I don't know if you would consider placing an actual easement on the property and say that no further disturbance is allowed. That's what the actual ordinance requires. It's not just a buffer setback, but an actual easement is required. But the existing chicken coop is going to stay on 2501 is about halfway to what the public requires.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we would be that against the code anyway, so it's not really adding anything that we're not already obligated. Plus, I think it would be helpful, you know, guarantee that's more that can't be built on.
100 feet, so the 50 foot setback is, instead of the lot, street line. Right, well, it's, have to be an actual board meeting. You have no objection to that?
I know.
And on the lot where you have the 51.5 for the chicken coop, would you have any objection to this 50 foot?
Don't answer that. You're incorrect in the interpretation of the law, because that chicken coop is an ag building.
Oh, yeah, you're
that's
right. You're right.
I'm not gonna bad guy.
You really need a variance for it. Yeah, so basically, the chicken coop is an agricultural structure, thus it doesn't count in the requirement.
You're allowed to put agricultural structures in the agricultural easement. You don't need to buffer a farm from a farm, but you're supposed to buffer a house.
So you can't put you can't be house back there, or pool back there, or anything like that.
So as long as your structure, you call it agricultural, you can put any structure in that easement, or is it?
If it's farm-related, it can be in the buffer zone.
There's an episode of Married with Children about 30 years ago where Al tells the kids they can have a chicken in their car all the time so they get an agricultural vehicle.
Okay. Duly noted, I'm making mental notes here. So,
You're done your report, Chris?
Yes, that's all.
Okay.
One variance is for an existing condition, the other is on the new lot, there's no ag buffer. The only variance, and then the questions we had in our report was just to basically where they're subdividing, which is pretty clear. Otherwise, the minimum lot area in this district is an 1.5 acres. Both properties will be over 1.5 acres, and there's, aside from the existing non-conforming condition on the new houses, there's more than enough space to build a house here that will be conforming. And course, we just discussed, any plans for a home would go through the township engineer as well as construction department, verify that meets all under applicable codes.
Thank you.
So just for clarity, that what we're talking about is a 50-foot, because that's going to severely impact your building footprint on the new lot.
In the sense of, again, you have to come get a variance for it. 50 feet only gets us to here. If we look where this building is already, plenty of room.
There's over 200 feet for a house. With 75-foot front setback, 100-foot rear setback, that's 175, and you're 280, so that's
I think 50 would certainly be.
ample room to place a dwelling.
There's 110 feet of buildable space in addition to the, whatever that width is, 250 minus.
Yeah,
So you got 210 by 110.
plenty of room for a
More
home.
than enough for that person.
So we're at 50, right? 50.
We'll do it.
50.
50.
Foot easement.
That's the pleasure of the board if you want to.
We would require, we would require 50 foot.
So we're waiving 100 down to 50.
Well, so I think we'd still be required within the variance, or like, if they wanted to build, you still have to get the 200-foot buffer, but we're agreeing to an easement
On the 50.
on the deed.
That's what the pleasure of the requirement is a 100-foot buffer to the rear yard and easement of 100 feet. If you want to allow a reduction in that, that's at your request. They can request that variance if they want.
Well, if they're happy with a 50-foot easement, I think the board should be happy with a 50-foot easement. Since behind this, there's nothing but woods currently.
I have no objections to whatever distance you think is appropriate.
I think they're ridiculous, but I think they're unconstitutional, is my opinion, but
All right, any other comments from our members? Seeing none, is there a motion on this application?
I'd make a motion, we approve PB
26.
2601 with the condition of the removal of the existing coop structures as they're portrayed on the plan, with the one coop structure that's wholly on lot 2501 to remain, with a reduction in the so-called agricultural buffer requirement from 100 feet down to 50 feet.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Fiorello?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Trout?
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for your time tonight. Have a great day, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Christine, just for the record, I'll come back in, step back in as chair at this time. And let's move on to correspondence. There was a question asked at the last meeting. Chris, would you read the correspondence, please?
So I did follow up with the township solicitor, and the ordinance 5/2026 for data centers is a standalone ordinance. Data centers will be prohibited whether they are located in a warehouse or other structure.
Okay, thank you. That question at the last...
Existing structures?
Jimmy, stand by a second. That question was asked by me last week, and I want to make sure, last month, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't confused or confusing it, because the warehousing piece was a subject of conversation. I wanted to make sure that we weren't talking about data centers and warehouses. The ordinance that the Township Committee has passed since then will prohibit a data center in a 1 million square foot building, and it will also prohibit it in a 10 by 20 Vassallo shed anywhere in the township. And that's what I wanted to make sure, that there was no crossing of the language there that will allow somebody to come in and say, wait a minute, I'm putting a data center over here and your ordinance doesn't cover it. So that was the purpose of sending that back to the solicitor, to make sure that nowhere, regardless of the size of the building that they would put it in, would allow it to occur. And I thank you for going back to the township for that clarification. Okay.
And it includes existing structures.
Yeah, yes. Okay, any other correspondence, Chris? Okay, the minutes of the April 21st meeting were submitted electronically. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of that evening?
Motion to approve April 21 minutes.
Move, seconded.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Brian, no need for closed session? Okay. As we wrap up, any board comments?
I'd just like to comment how thorough these minutes are. I've, served on some other boards and, just looking through them, it's nice to have, I understand that the minutes aren't supposed to be a verbatim, transcript of the meeting, but it's helpful, I think, for everybody involved to have a thorough set of minutes. So I just want to acknowledge Chrissy for that. So thank you.
Yep, agreed. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you everyone for coming out this evening. We're adjourned at this time.
Also, think we should get rid of those ag buffers.
They're